from JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, February the 16th, 2017. Following his press conference yesterday and meeting at the White House with U.S. President Donald Trump, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to the press last night at the official White House guest residence Blair House, where Netanyahu was asked about remarks made at the press conference, including on Trump's request to Israel to hold off on settlement building. Netanyahu said in that regard, "We agreed to discuss the settlements with the goal of arriving at an understanding that is consistent with the desire to achieve peace." Ynet reports the prime minister also said that he would, quote, examine the possibility of a construction freeze in the settlements. President Trump had also said yesterday that he was open to either a two-state or one-state solution, whichever the two sides preferred. In response, last night, Netanyahu said his position on Palestinian statehood had not changed, adding, "I don't want to annex close to 2.5 million Palestinians to Israel. I do not want them to be our subjects." Netanyahu did say that he told Trump that Israel would like the Golan Heights to be recognized as Israeli territory. When asked last night if the two-state solution was dead, Netanyahu said that depends. He said that Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas doesn't recognize Israel as a Jewish state, and that was unacceptable. Today, Netanyahu met with U.S. Vice President Mike Pence. And Jewish groups weighed in on yesterday's press conference, a number of them welcoming the staunch support expressed by Trump for Israel. The World Jewish Congress, B'nai B'rith International, and the American Jewish Committee all lauded the spirit of cooperation and friendship expressed between the U.S. and Israel, though the AJC did note their concern regarding the status of a two-state solution, saying AJC has long recognized that the alternative of a one-state reality is simply untenable and therefore a non-starter, an abrogation of the Zionist ideal of a Jewish and democratic state. And the Union for Reform Judaism said that abandoning the two-state solution could be potentially devastating to the prospects for peace and to Israel's Jewish democratic future. Israeli Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman published a statement in Arabic today geared towards the Palestinian people to put pressure on terror group Hamas. In it, Lieberman said that Israel might agree to various improvements in Gaza if Hamas returns 3 Israelis being held by the terror group, as well as the remains of the 2 IDF soldiers killed in the Gaza War of 2014, Oron Shaul and Hadar Golden. Lieberman offered the construction of a seaport, an airport, and industrial zones, and the creation of 40,000 jobs in Gaza on the condition that Hamas agrees to the returns, as well as to the disarmament of Gaza and to Hamas erasing the article in its covenant that calls for Israel's destruction. President Trump's pick for the United States ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, had his first hearing today in his Senate confirmation process, where Friedman was challenged by Democratic Senator Ben Cardin on comments Friedman had made calling American Jewish progressives who support J Street kapos, among other past remarks. Friedman apologized, saying, "These were hurtful words and I deeply regret them." He said, "I want to assure you I understand the critical difference of partisan rhetoric of a political contest and a diplomatic mission." 2 separate groups of Jewish and Palestinian protesters tried to disrupt the nomination hearing today and were escorted out by security. A recent Gallup poll shows continued firm support for the State of Israel. According to the newest survey on the matter released yesterday, 71% of Americans view Israel favorably. It was the 4th straight year the Jewish state received a favorable rating of 70% or higher. The results found 29% viewing Israel very favorably, 42% mostly favorably, with 21% mostly unfavorably, and 6% very unfavorably. The poll is part of Gallup's annual February World Affairs Survey. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight, for Thursday, February the 16th on JBS. At 7 o'clock, it's In the News, where Mark Golub speaks with former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Danny Ayalon, about the Trump-Netanyahu press conference yesterday, among other issues. At 8, marriage equality in Israel is discussed, and at 9, Mark Golub sits down with Sarah Esther Crisp of Jewish Woman and Rabbi Jeffrey Siegelman of the Westchester Jewish Center on the Jewish notion of miracles on L'chaim. At 10, the Jewish Orthodox Feminist Alliance honors their founding president, Blue Greenberg. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, February the 16th, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader.